check this out. Someone just texted me, "Good for you." Is that nice?
Depends. What did their face look like?
Kinda like,
Then no.
wait, what?
Jealous people almost never say, "I envy you." Instead, they've developed their own language, a secret language, made up of compliments that aren't compliments, sentences that sound like support but feel like a kick in the shin.
That explains so much.
In this video, we're going to decode that language, phrase by phrase. And by the end, you won't just know what they really mean, you'll know exactly how to disarm them completely.
Disarm? With words?
With a technique psychology calls radical warmth, and it's more powerful than any confrontation. Be sure to stay tuned, because phrase number 5 will make you want to replay a few conversations in your head over and over again. Chapter 1. Why they can never just say it. Before we go through the phrases, let's find out why jealous people need a secret language in the first place. And the answer goes deep into psychology. Jealousy and envy are socially unacceptable emotions. Nobody wants to be known as the person sitting in the corner, quietly seething while you celebrate your success. So the jealous person has a problem. They feel something they're ashamed of, and that feeling needs somewhere to go. Psychologists call this displaced hostility. The emotion is real, but it gets rerouted through language that sounds perfectly reasonable. The jealous person gets to release the pressure, protect their image, and leave you slightly unsettled without you ever knowing exactly why.
So they build a pressure valve, and the valve is me?
Exactly. And the tricky part? You usually only notice it afterwards. That vague discomfort after a conversation. The feeling that something was slightly off, but you can't quite name it. That's the signal. And that's where the decoding begins. Chapter 2. You just got lucky. Phrase number 1. And probably the most widely used in the secret language of jealousy. You just got lucky. Sounds warm. Might even sound like a compliment. But what this sentence actually does, it erases your effort. Everything you worked for, everything you sacrificed, every sleepless night turned into a coincidence, into something that could have happened to anyone. Psychologists call this credit attribution bias. Jealous people unconsciously, or sometimes very consciously, attribute your success to external factors. Luck, connections, timing, anything but you. And at the same time, they attribute their own failures to those exact same external factors. It's a mental defense mechanism, one that keeps their self-image intact while quietly dismantling yours.
So I'm not actually good. I just happen to fall face first into success?
In their version of the story, yes. Because if your success was luck, then their failure wasn't their fault either. That's the real function of this phrase. Not to insult you, to protect themselves. Chapter 3. Good for you. The politest kick in the world. Phrase number 2. 3 words. Technically positive, practically devastating. Good for you.
Good for you.
Exactly that tone. Pay attention to the delivery. A real supporter says, "That's incredible, tell me everything." A jealous person says, "Good for you," and immediately changes the subject, checks their phone, launches into a story about themselves. The phrase works as a social off switch. It acknowledges your news just enough to avoid seeming rude, but gives absolutely nothing back. No warmth, no curiosity, no real celebration. A door that opens and shuts again right away. And right next to it, a phrase disguised as encouragement. That's brave of you. Sounds like a compliment, but it's a hidden prediction of failure. When someone calls your decisions, a new project, a career move, a creative risk, brave, what they actually mean is, I would never do that because it sounds like a terrible idea. The word brave implies risk, danger. It plants a seed of doubt, making you suddenly wonder if what you're doing is actually reckless. Encouragement as a disguise for doubt.
I always thought brave was a compliment.
Depends on the tone, and you almost always know exactly which one is meant.
It's like wrapping a grenade in a birthday bow.
That's really a good formulation. Did she just compliment me?
Chapter 4. I could never. I'm too honest for that. Phrase number 4, and this one is sophisticated because it doesn't attack you directly. I could never do that. I'm too straightforward. I could never. I'm too private. I could never. I wouldn't be that harsh with someone.
Hold on. They're insulting me and giving themselves an award for it?
Exactly. In a single sentence, they've done 2 things: criticized your choices and granted themselves a virtue they just invented on the spot. Psychology calls this moral self-licensing. The person constructs a fictional moral high ground and uses it to look down on your decisions. Without saying a single openly negative word, you negotiated a higher salary? I could never. I'm too upfront. You shared your work on social media? I could never. I'm too modest. You set a boundary? I could never be that cold with someone.
So, the more successful I get, the more made-up virtues they collect?
You're catching on fast. Chapter 5. I'm just being honest. The perfect shield. And now, phrase number 5. The last one. The most effective one. And the one most people find hardest to defend against. I'm just being honest. This phrase always comes after the comment that stings, after the unsolicited criticism of your work, after the remark about your relationship, after the verdict on your choices. And its only purpose is to make any pushback impossible, because now if you respond, you're the one who can't handle the truth. Research in behavioral psychology consistently shows unsolicited honesty aimed at someone's success or happiness almost never has anything to do with truth. It has to do with control, making you smaller so they can feel bigger.
And the worst part? It works. Because most of us were taught that honesty is a virtue. So we just sit there, take the hit, and wonder, maybe they have a point?
They don't. Chapter 6. The Antidote: Radical Warmth. You know the language now, but what do you do with it? Most people make one of 2 mistakes. They confront the jealous person directly, which almost always backfires because the person will deny everything and suddenly you look paranoid. Or they shrink. They stop sharing wins, stop talking about their lives, start making themselves smaller to manage someone else's discomfort.
Both lose.
Both lose. Here's what actually works, backed by research in social psychology: radical warmth. When you respond to covert jealousy with genuine, calm warmth, not defensiveness, not sarcasm, just warmth, you take away the jealous person's entire toolkit. The mechanism is simple. Covert jealousy runs on your reaction. The jealous person needs to see the doubt in your eyes. That brief moment of, did they really mean that? That's the fuel. Radical warmth starves the fire.
So when someone says,
You just got lucky.
you smile and say, I worked incredibly hard for this, and I'm really proud of it.
When someone says,
That's brave.
you say, I know, I'm so excited about it.
When someone says,
I'm just being honest.
you say, I appreciate that, and you keep moving.
No argument, no hurt reaction, no justification. You confirm your own story calmly, and you move on. The jealous person has nothing left to work with.
Wait, I need to say something. If jealous people are jealous of someone, doesn't that basically mean that person has something worth noticing?
That might genuinely be the smartest thing you've said all day.
Don't get used to it.
Do you recognize any of these phrases from your own life? Drop it in the comments and tell us which phrase hit closest to home. You just got lucky, good for you, or the classic honesty shield.